What if you didn't have any admin to do ever as a small creative business or a cultural organisation or really any business or anyone in work with no admin to do because it can be automated and then processed intelligently with greater efficiency than ever before? Then what else is possible? AI is the greatest enabler, technical enabler, since the internet, possibly even since the Industrial Revolution. But like every significant advance in technology and disruptor of the way things were before, it brings masses of opportunities, but also creates many problems for all of us that need to be solved. Energy consumption is one of those problems. The energy required for the compute, as they call it in the AI industry, the consumption of the computers, the chip manufacture, the data center cooling requirements also have a considerable environmental impact. This is a real issue. Does that mean we shouldn't use AI? No. Is it irresponsible to use AI? I don't think so. In fact, I think it's irresponsible not to, because of the advantages that it can bring to individuals and organizations and to nations. But that doesn't mean that we need to accept the problems that they cause. Far from it. I think that we have a responsibility to use the extra time that we're rewarded with by using AI efficiently and put that time to solving big problems. And we can utilize AI tools and technologies to help us do that. Of course, individuals and organizations have the right not to use AI, just as you've got the right to abstain from any environmentally impacting or otherwise disagreeable to you technology. You don't need to stream music or stream films or binge watch TV shows on Netflix. You can abstain from scrolling social media, from reading traditional media online, from watching YouTube videos, from using smartphones, searching the internet, using computers, telephones, cars, banks, or whatever you disagree with in society. On whichever grounds matters to you. I disagree with that stance personally because I think it's a race to the bottom, and rejection and avoidance will actually do nothing to solve the issue. And the adoption of AI in particular is so rapidly advancing and so great that an individual or a small organization deciding not to use it on, say, environmental grounds really won't make a shred of difference to the environmental impact. It might make you feel better, but actually you're not really contributing anything towards solving the problem. That doesn't mean that you need to utilize it to solve the problem, but and I'm not accusing anybody who is abstaining from using AI of avoiding the problem, because I'm sure some people are trying to do something about it. But what I am saying is that we could utilize these amazing technologies and use them to work collectively to try to solve these issues. I have noticed that, there are people who do like to complain about something and then not put forward any solutions. And I think that is a pointless and unhelpful perspective. I'm not accusing anybody who might be watching this of being like that. But yeah, we definitely want to avoid that and be more constructive in the way that we tackle problems. So how can we envisage a better future, especially when it comes to solving the environmental impact caused by AI? There are investments being made in data centres in the UK, and Scotland is an attractive place to do that, and especially because the majority of our energy is produced renewably, but there won't be enough renewable energy to power these data centres, which throws up a lot of issues. Clean nuclear is one solution, and there are countries like France that have done a lot to clean up nuclear fusion. There's nuclear fission, and there's there's an idealistic pursuit of economically affordable fusion, but that's still probably a very long way off. However, there are alternatives to using fossil fuels for energy generation for very hungry energy consumers such as data centers. And do bear in mind that those data centers are not just running AI compute, they are also running all of the streaming media and social media that you love. So what can we do? What about, for example, if we established a public-private partnership to set up data centres, locate them on Scottish islands, power them from clean hydrogen, and then use seawater to cool the computers, and then use the byproduct of hot water from the cooling to heat the local communities. That kind of joined up thinking, which is not entirely my idea. Incidentally, this sort of thing has been done in Scandinavia. That kind of idea could really make a transformative difference to rural communities. Does that sound pie in the sky, or is it pie on the Isle of Skye? Rural cooperatives have funded community arts projects through renewable energy generation, running wind farms, for example, and then selling the surplus energy and using it to fund community projects. Anything is possible if you have a little bit of money, which can be public sector investment to unlock private sector investment, and then a desire to do great things to make the world a better place. And that's a common characteristic in creative people. And if you have some free time and some headspace, because you've freed up a lot of that time by removing the admin burden, and you've also got all of the mind-bending power and advantages of AI, then you can do a far better job collectively with the power of collective thinking, enhanced and amplified by the power of AI to solve these problems, and not just stop at powering data centers, but look at our whole approach to energy generation and energy consumption, and not just power everything we do, but strive to do things better and to make things better. All that from just getting rid of your admin. Maybe, why not?